After last week's video, part one of the trip to the Grand Tetons and the videos and pictures that I shared with you from that, hopefully you've taken time to pick out your own bucket list trip and begin preparing for that. Now, this isn't on my list to share, but it's just a little bonus. Don't wait until 3 months or 2 months before a major trip to start training for it and getting healthy. Start that now. Just start a whole lifestyle of living healthy. And that way, anytime that an opportunity comes up that you can go somewhere and do something exciting, you can just pack your bags and go. Speaking of packing your bags, that's what we're going to talk about next. Welcome, I'm Sheri Traxler with ViREO Life, author of Go Forward, 28 Days to Eat, Move, and Enjoy Life God's Way. So glad you are here. Welcome, welcome back. And packing for a trip. I do have a bonus for my email community, and if you want to be in that group as well, just shoot me an email and I will get the bonus to you on helping with packing. This is a form, I guess is the best word for it, that I use personally, and that also my clients, I help them customize this when they are packing for a trip, how to pack healthy. In fact, I've got a video where I specifically talked about traveling and food. This isn't for an adventure trip. It was just for a normal type trip staying in a hotel room, but I'll link that so that you've got that idea of types of foods to pack for a trip. I'm a Christmas fan as well as a hiking fan, so I decided to merge the two and give you these ideas as the 12 days of hiking. So, day number 1, but I won't sing it to you, don't worry. On the first day of hiking, my health coach said to me, get all of your directions together, hikes together, papers together. This is the packet that we took. Well, it's got a whole bunch of things that we picked up while we were there, but this part was what we took with us. And in this day and age, normally we would say, well, we've got, GPS on our phone, we've got directions on all that. Why do we need it? When you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, we did not have cell coverage most of the time. So when we were at the condo, we did. But otherwise, we didn't have it. So having all of the directions printed to each trailhead, and then from those trailheads back, because we have been in areas before, wasn't that way this time, but we have been in areas before where how you get somewhere, 1-lane roads, you cannot get back that same way. On the second day of hiking, my health coach said to me, all those plans you made, I won't say throw them out the window, but I will say be flexible. And that is something I have to really personally work on, which is a life lesson that will come up in the third video for this. But when we planned these hikes, even though we planned them just a few days before leaving, as far as what order to do them, because I wanted to start out easy. We were going to be at altitude, so the easy hikes were at the beginning, the more strenuous hikes were at the end. The snow threw a wrench in that. Where we had planned on hiking, we had to change the order. We had to change what day we were going to have the hiking guide, because the hike she was going to be taking us on was going to be very treacherous if it was snowy. So all of those plans that you made, make them, but then be flexible. On the third day of hiking, my health coach said to me, have your phone. And the reason you want your phone, or we took a laptop, and I'm very glad we did, because at the condo, all that flexibility required reshuffling. And some people will say, well, why do the planning if you're going to have to be that flexible? Without the planning, we would have spent hours trying to figure it out while we were there. Having a plan allowed us then just to take a few minutes and be able to realize, oh, this hike's not going to work at all now, so what else can we find instead? Or they said, this road is closed, let's pull up a big map and get new directions to another location or the same location in a different way. On the 4th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, everything you plan to do on the trip, cut it in half. Yes, I normally like to read on a trip, and it's very easy for me to take a big stack of books. Also, I'll try to make it a spa, and I'll take all kinds of masks and creams and all kinds of stuff, and then not read it all, not use it all, whatever. This was a hiking trip. Stay focused on your priorities and know that you're only going to have time for one. So pick one book. This happens to be a really good one to pick. Pick one book and take a book. Take one small thing with you extra just in case, but don't overplan what you think you can get done. Along those same lines, on the 5th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, pick one priority for the trip. And I did make a mistake on this. I did good. I only took one book, but I had the hiking as my number one priority. But then I also said, well, while we're there, we'll have some nice meals and we'll do this or we'll do that. It ended up causing some stress because of some sleep deprivation, which I'll talk a lot about in part 3 of this video of how to deal with sleep deprivation, or more how to prevent sleep deprivation. Because of that, we would get back and we would be tired. And I did not plan gourmet meals. I have done that before, but I knew, okay, we're gonna cook some. I really would have been better off just salad and open a can of tuna every night. So my message to you there is pick your one priority and make everything else simple, simple, simple. On the 6th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, hire a local guide. If I had known how much this would enhance the trip, I would have done this on every vacation we have ever taken. You learn so much from the locals about restaurants and history and the nature that's around, the flora and the fauna. Everything is so much richer than what I would have just read at a museum or read online ahead of time, and you also learn it faster. On the 7th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, bear spray. Now, for where we were hiking, yes, literally bear spray. But the lesson in this is when everything you see online says you need such and such essential, or everything somebody is experienced with in that area says you need a particular something, don't wait until you get there to figure it out. If it's essential, line it up ahead of time. Bear spray was something very clear that you need to have, not just one of you if you're hiking in a group, but every person needs their own bear spray. We had read that, we had heard that, and in talking with someone there by phone, they said, oh, every place carries it, all the grocery stores, all the outfitters, it'll be easy for you to get. I should have said, no, if it's essential, I'm going to go ahead and have one reserved for when we get there because you can't take that on a plane. What ended up happening was it was an essential. We were not going to go out on the trails without it. The first morning of hiking, we had gone to a grocery store the afternoon before. We'd gone to the grocery store. Oh, we're out. But that other store that's 30 minutes away, they should have it. We call, nope, they're out. Okay. So we did finally find an outfitter who had one. It was the same outfitter, y'all, this is embarrassing. It was the same outfitter that was at the airport. When we were picking up our baggage, there was a kiosk and they were renting bear spray there, and I said, oh, I'm tired, whatever, whatever my excuse was, we're just going to get it at the grocery store tomorrow. On the 8th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, sleep is the #1 priority. Maybe not #1, maybe, well, anyway, it all works together. You definitely have to get a lot of water at altitude as well. But sleep is so important, and I learned the hard way some things on this. And again, I'm sharing with you all of my embarrassing stories, but hopefully it's going to help you. Some of the things that I learned with sleeping. One is get a condo on the top floor. Now, this I actually did right, because I know that for me, everybody's different on what they need. For me, sound is very interruptive to my sleep. I have a hard time getting to sleep if there's sound. So I knew from having lived in apartments in the past, get a condo on the top floor. I did that. Even so, we had a family underneath us they weren't loud, like playing music loud, but they were a very active family. Earplugs I used for the first night or two, they helped some, but they irritate. Then I got the idea, and I will use this from now on. This is my MP3 player with my headset, and an MP3 player versus a phone, because of the waves, this is what this video is about. So I just prefer, if it's going to be by my bed all night, to have an MP3 player. Also, what supplements do you normally use at home to help you relax? Passion flower, valerian root, kava, any herbs you normally use, be sure to take those with you. And I packed mine with me, but I didn't pack enough, because I thought, oh, I'll just need them the first night or two while I'm adjusting to sleeping in a new place. I should have taken, and will from now on, enough with me for every night, because you never know what you're going to encounter. On the 9th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, don't skimp on the gear. I've alluded to this before with the bear spray, but any other gear you need that may not be essential, but makes things easier, like the camelbacks. When we hiked Wheeler Peak, oh gosh, probably 12, 13 years ago now, this was before we had camelbacks. And to have to stop every little while and open up the backpack, get out a water bottle, drink some water, I wasn't drinking enough. Whereas with the camelback, you're drinking water constantly. Trekking poles, that's another that makes things so much easier, especially if you're going to hike in ice and snow. On the 10th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, have 2 sources of trail directions for every trail. Remember that in the first video I talked about getting lost on what were supposed to be String Lake, and ended up Jenny Lake and Inspiration Point and completely out of the way? It was because early on, again, this is embarrassing, I only had one source. We had printed descriptions. We found a website that had phenomenal descriptions of the trails. Unfortunately, the descriptions they gave for String Lake, the way that they described the trailhead matched pretty close to the trailhead where we were, which also was String Lake, but it was the wrong one. We completely got out of the way because we started at the wrong place. So have both a written description, if you can find online somebody who describes verbally, or in a book that describes a trail, do that. But then also have a drawn picture of the trail, and then you can look and go, oh, this is where that junction is. I'm looking down like you can see it. Oh, this is where that junction is. We're going to take a turn. We're going to take a right here, and then we should pass XYZ, but that's not, it doesn't match. And so you've got something to compare to make sure that you're on the right trail. On the 11th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, turn around. Turn around at every junction, or better yet, take a picture. Don't get stuck saying, Is this the way we came? I don't remember seeing this. On the 12th day of hiking, my health coach said to me, have conversation topics ready. Because if you are in bear country, you and your partner will be talking a lot. Every reputable website that we looked at, every park ranger we talked to said that there in bear country, you want to make the bear aware of your presence, and the best way to do that is talking and having conversation. Some people on the trails had talk radio on. Other hikers might have got annoyed. I personally thought it was a great idea because music doesn't work, but talk radio simulates people having some conversation. My husband and I have great conversations, but after 8 to 10 hours a day for several days in a row talking, by the time we got on the plane coming back, there wasn't much to talk about. When you want to make active travel part of your lifestyle, you need to train for it. You really need to stay trained and stay healthy for that. And if you've got questions, shoot me questions. If you want to chat, shoot me an email, we'll chat. I want to be a resource for you to help you live that healthy lifestyle so you can be active in your adventures. And those in my email community, watch for your bonus as well. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, find your path and fulfill your potential.